The Prophet of Thought series.
This is X from the Prophet of Thought series. And man, I just gotta say, the people who know me, they know I got a radio show, they know I have a website, and I'm on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But and we talk to black people about a lot of different things. You know, we sometimes we pat our black people on the back, we applaud them, but sometimes we kick them in the ass for some of the crazy stuff that they do. And I think we should. Now, people say we shouldn't do that. People are always hollering and screaming about, you know, how we should be uplifting the black people and doing all this stuff. And to be honest with you, when you talk about uplifting black people, first and foremost, the first thing we need to do is educate our black people, okay? Because we can't continue to keep saying, let's uplift black people, as long as black people continue to do stupid things, okay? So obviously, all the upliftment in the world isn't doing them any good. So what we need to do is start making black people look at themselves so they can uplift themselves. And you always hear people talking about, you people don't give any solutions. You just preach at us. You don't give us any solutions. And what they don't understand is that the solution is in the problem. The solution is inside of the problem. People have been giving black people solutions for 40 years. At least as long as I've been alive, they've been giving them solutions. And guess what? These people are not implementing these solutions. I'm a true believer that knowledge is power, okay? But knowing is only half the battle. The other half is implementation. And people can give you solutions all day long, but if you fail to implement them, the problem will not be solved. And yes, it is very easy to identify a problem, and it may not be as easy to identify a solution. But if all people do is give you solutions, okay, to a problem, and you don't implement whatever that solution is, that problem is still going to exist. So for people to put it on people like me that have a little radio show and a little platform, for people to put it on people like me to give them solutions, it's crazy. Because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not any of that. You know, I don't even consider myself an activist. What I am is just a person with a microphone and a little bit of an audience. So if you're looking to people like me for solutions to your problem, that probably explains why you have the problem in the first place. Okay? People choose to listen to my show. They choose to be on my website. They choose to look at my videos and promotionals on Facebook. That doesn't make me an expert on everybody's problems. What I consider myself is an opinion person who gives opinions about things, okay? And maybe some of my opinions are wrong. But what I try to do on 100% of the time is base my opinions on facts that I've already gathered. It's not like these things are made up that I talk about. It's not like I don't research these things. It's not like you can't Google anything that I say on any one of my platforms and not find it word for word somewhere else. So, that being said, when people want to cry and whine about, oh, people like you are part of the problem. People like you want to keep black people down. People like you don't want to uplift black people. People like you don't want to empower black people. If you were to take every platform that I had off the internet, off the radio today, guess what? The problems would still exist. The only difference with me being on the radio and on the internet, the only difference is I might just make a difference in someone's life. I may save a life. I may keep a kid in school. I may keep a young girl from getting pregnant. I may keep a brother out of jail. I may make a brother decide he wants to do something with his life. I may make a young girl decide that she wants to do something with her life. That is the difference. Okay? So the problems that exist for black people have existed way before I start being on the airwaves or on the World Wide Web. They've existed long before that. Okay? So whether I'm on there or not isn't just only a question of what difference do I make, because I wouldn't make any difference if I wasn't on there. But the fact that I am on there, maybe I can just make a difference in one person's life. And if I make a difference in one person's life, it's a success. Even if it's 1,000 people, and out of 1,000 people, I make a difference in one person's life. If those other 999 are whining and crying and moaning about how I don't do anything but preach, they don't matter. The one I help mattered, and that one makes it a success. And every person that I put something in their head to make a positive difference in their life makes that thing that much more of a success, despite all the other 998 people who don't do anything except complain about how we preach, us people on the radio and the internet and all that kind of stuff, as if we're the problem, as if we're the reason why black people are in the predicament that they are. I hate when people say that. Oh, people like you're the reason why. People like me don't have nothing to do with it. I couldn't even be on this earth, and guess what? Black people will still be killing each other. 70% of our babies will still be born out of wedlock. Black people will still have the highest unemployment rate. Black people will still be filling up the jails. So don't try to make it seem like it's because of people like me. It's not. It just so happened that people like me, we choose not to be like the other people that I just mentioned. That's the difference. Instead of being one of those people, we are one of the people who make the observations, okay, based on facts. And we just ask the question, why? Why do people constantly make the same mistake over and over and still want to call it a mistake? For instance, if you got a brother, okay, he sells crack, sells dope, whatever he sells, he does it, he gets locked up, he goes to jail. He comes home in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. And the day he gets out, he goes right back to selling crack, selling dope, and goes to jail again. Comes home, as soon as he gets out, goes right back to selling again. Now, the first time he did it, you'll hear people say, oh, well, everybody makes mistakes. The second time he did it, you'll hear people say, oh, everybody makes mistakes. The third time he did it, people will be like, oh, everybody makes mistakes. I mean, how long can we lay down on the everybody makes mistakes nonsense? When do we start saying, hey, that was a bad decision? Okay? When do we start saying that? And it's not just the men, okay? The women too. I mean, you got these women, okay? They 15, they 16, they're not even women, they're girls. They're 16, they're 17, and they're having babies, right? Now, once they have that baby, you was asked one of these girls, what made you want to have a baby at 17, 16, at 15? Oh, I was young. I was dumb. I was in love. I didn't know. I made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Fine. So she has a baby when she's 16, and then when she's 17, she's pregnant again and has another baby. You ask her again, she'll say, oh, I was young, I was dumb, I was in love, I made a mistake. And then she'll have another one, number 3, then number 4, then number 5, then number 6, number 7. Now, every single one of those times, if you were to ask her why, she would say, oh, I was young, I was dumb, I made a mistake, I was in love, everybody makes mistakes. When do we get people off of that kick and off of that excuse of I'm young, I'm dumb, I made a mistake, I was in love. Everybody makes mistakes. If you making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, it's not a mistake anymore. It's not a mistake anymore, especially a mistake that you know what the outcome is going to be. If you know what the outcome is going to be, it's not a mistake, because you're not doing it by accident. You're not doing it with unintended consequences. You know what these consequences are, and you're doing it purposely. It's not mistakes anymore. At some point, you got to say, hey, this was a bad decision. But see, you can't get that from black people. Black people refuse to answer direct questions. And you know why they refuse to answer direct questions? They don't want to answer direct questions because if they answer the question directly, they can't deflect. They can't deflect their own culpability in whatever the situation is. Okay? Because they just can't seem to get past the fact that they have fucked up in their life too. And God forbid if they admit that. God forbid if they admit that they fucked up in life. And the crazy thing is, a lot of us have fucked up in life. I've messed up in life, okay? I've done a lot of things too. I don't know if because my self-esteem was bad, because I was stupid, dating the wrong women. I don't know what the case may be, but I've made mistakes in my life too. So, I mean, for us as black people to try to, deflect it to something else is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why we do that. I just wanted to say that. Prophet of Thought series. Open your minds.
The Prophet of Thought series. The Prophet of Thought series.